Good afternoon, everybody. Today we'll be having our event with Cavallo, Leaving Money on the Table, Supercharge Order Management in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Our speakers for today will be Matt Abbott, Chief Strategy Officer at Cavallo, and Jeff Houtz, Senior Account Executive at Cavallo. The agenda for today will be improve gross margin, automate the sales order process, increase revenue. In this webinar, you will learn about the benefits of adopting Cavallo's order management solutions. Cavallo products work seamlessly with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central and are easy to adopt, so you will quickly enjoy the benefits and see an immediate return on your investment. Some upcoming trainings and events for us will be tomorrow we'll be having Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central workshop, process customer and vendor payments in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Our workshop will be at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and the consultant in charge will be Noah Wellman. So now I'm going to pass it to Matt, and he'll continue with the session. Thank you very much.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you very much. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. We very much appreciate the partnership with Optimus and this opportunity to share products that we're extremely proud of. And we live order management every day. We help distributors, light manufacturers, brands that are very product oriented, really improve the profitability of their business and grow seamlessly by focusing on order management. And in this instance, doing so in a way that dramatically helps companies scale with Business Central. And so, as you mentioned, I'm Matt Abbott. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer here at Cavallo, responsible for a number of items in terms of our market entry in the Business Central space, partnerships, pricing, et cetera, and work very closely on a day-to-day basis with Jeff Houtz, my colleague, who will be sharing the presentation with me. I will be sort of leading the charge, the first part here, and then Jeff will be diving in and sharing the demo of our products here shortly. A little bit of background and what we're focused on. As I mentioned, we are laser focused on bringing the best order management platform for Business Central. Here is a quick screenshot of our workflow designer, a very easy to use, no code, very consumer grade UI that is extremely easy for users to set up complex workflows, easy to use, very easy for folks to create a number of orders very, very quickly. So really want to bring forth that best-in-class order management platform for Business Central. In terms of our history, for any of you who don't know us, we were actually founded about 20 years ago, and our name for most of that time was SalesPad. We actually came from the GP ecosystem, and over the years have served thousands of companies, 20,000 users, very high retention and customer satisfaction rates, and really have a laser focus on creating value for companies, making them more profitable, helping them grow, et cetera. And in the background, you see a number of the companies that we've served over the years, and increasingly, many of them are omni-channel in nature. And so while we certainly cut our teeth and began our journey serving more wholesale distribution over the years, we've served more and more of those brands that are sort of e-commerce and omni-channel focused. What I also wanted to mention is that while our history comes from the GP space, we've now been active in Business Central for approximately a year and a half now, and are helping dozens of these companies move from GP to BC and bring that same focus on order management excellence to the BC ecosystem. In terms of the types of companies we've served, I've mentioned already that we focus on those companies that are product-based, increasingly those companies that are expanding through e-commerce and EDI, et cetera. So really that omni-channel orientation and helping them manage orders no matter where they came from. And while we certainly, focus on those companies that are mid-size, so SMB, we over the years have helped companies grow so rapidly that we serve a number of companies that are enterprise in scale and scope because we've helped them grow so much. In terms of the buyers, the folks that really seek us out and kind of kick the tires on our products and what they're looking for, we serve a number of owner operators that really want to increase the overall profitability of their business, the overall enterprise value, and whether that's because they eventually want to sell their business or not, it doesn't really matter because we want to, again, help them increase profitability, grow their business, become more valuable. Sales leaders love the fact that we can help them scale and increase their revenue. Operations leaders love the automation that we bring, and Jeff will share a lot of this in terms of our ability to automate sales order processes and drive a lot of the manual labor and errors out of processes. And then IT leaders love the simplicity and ease at which our products integrate with Business Central, bringing forth a pretty clean and simple ecosystem that they can easily manage. In terms of the problems that we solve for those product-based businesses, there are many, and I won't hit all of them on this slide, but you can imagine with companies that are trying to manage hundreds, if not thousands of orders a day, managing hundreds, if not thousands of customers, and quite often thousands of SKUs, with all of that motion moving through their business on a day-to-day basis, it's really hard for companies to ensure that every order meets profitability thresholds. And so we ensure that companies achieve those margin controls that they want and therefore bring up the waterline of profitability. And so we can help companies become more profitable very, very quickly. Part of how we do that, of course, is ensuring that companies can sort of seal the deal the first time and close deals with very certain understanding of inventory availability, matched with very efficient order entry. And while we certainly recognize that Business Central is a great ERP system, the order entry experience is not necessarily tuned to that high volume, very fast order entry. And so we can really speed up entry of orders. Quite often out of the box, it's difficult with ERP systems to establish the workflows that really help move orders through business very quickly. And so ERP systems are sort of inflexible in that capability, whereas we bring extremely flexible but robust control-oriented workflows that you'll see very soon. And of course, addressing the fact that many companies are managing the difficulty of disparate channels today. And so we're able to really help them apply that control and visibility across channels very easily. In terms of our products, we like to talk about how we sort of support the full customer to cash cycle. So starting by selling a product all the way through collection of the cash. Our order management dashboard provides visibility of orders no matter where they stand in the process to make sure that all of the departments, all the organizations within a company are fully aligned around where orders stand and are all sort of singing from the same songbook. Our order management workflow helps to apply that automation and route orders through that whole process. And then in the lower left, you see our customer management and order entry capabilities that are really tuned to those companies that are managing a high number of manual orders or go through quite a bit of exploration and understanding of customer data to make sure that they can do so much more efficiently than working in Business Central natively. And as depicted, by this slide, these capabilities are modular. So some companies that we work with, for example, if they're very much focused on e-commerce and all of their orders are already coming into Business Central electronically, they don't necessarily need to buy our order entry as an example, but they still benefit from our workflow module and the automation that applies to orders once they're in the door, if you will. In the lower right, of course, as you can imagine, we bring very robust credit card processing to ensure that orders can be processed very efficiently through our partnership with Notice PayFabric. And in the middle, at the bottom here, depicted in gray, is just to indicate that there are a number of other wonderful ISVs out there in the BC ecosystem that provide capabilities like warehousing or shipping that we work very seamlessly with and allow our great partners like Optimus to work with end users to figure out what is the best combination of not only Cavallo products, but also those complementary ISV products that help to bring forth that full solution that is valuable to our end users. And so we're very, very collaboratively with other ISVs in that regard. Now, with that, I will now turn it over to Jeff to share our software and really bring it to life. Jeff?
All right. Thank you so much, Matt. Really appreciate it. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
All right. Excellent. So really appreciate the time here and giving me the opportunity to show you what we have that are solutions that integrate with Business Central. I've got all my workflows here. I'm going to go ahead and select my order workflow. So as Matt described, this is our order management workflow. This solution here will give you 100% control over the orders moving through your business, as well as allow you to streamline your operations with our automation capabilities. So here on the left, I have the ability to manage my queues in the order that they're in. I can easily select, add a new queue if I want to, and give it a name, a description. I can add this queue, and then I could drag and drop it where it makes the most sense in my workflow. I'm going to go ahead and dig in a little bit to each one of these queues here. I have my new order queue. Go ahead and click the drop down. Matt mentioned the paths that we can have our orders flow through. And here, my path, my happy path is to move orders from my new order to my ready to pick queue. However, I can set up alternate paths as well. So orders that might not be meeting my criteria to move forward in my operations, I can give an alternate path here, and I have one defined for back orders, where anytime I have a document status of back ordered or partially back ordered, I want to move those orders to my back order queue. To take that a step further, then I've got some automated actions here set up. So as I'm moving orders from my new order to my back order queue, I'm automatically creating a purchase order for the back ordered quantity. And then I'm also emailing that out. Here I have that selected as myself. But if I had a vendor that was set for this, I could go ahead and select that vendor and send the email out automatically with that PO attached to it. I've also got here an auto forward. So if my status then is updated on those backorder documents so that they are allocated, the items have been allocated or partially allocated to that order, I can then move them to ready to pick, kind of fulfilling that alternate path process. Here then moving forward, if I am moving documents from my new order queue to my ready to pick queue, I kindly refer this as my one click to pick process just by pressing submit. Moving those orders, I'm allocating all the inventory for those items. I'm creating a pick document. I'm sending that pick instruction out. This could be to a warehouse manager. Here I've got it selected myself again for demo purposes. I'm authorizing a credit card payment. I'm reopening that document. And then from there, it's ready to invoice. So this is a good part of the process to describe. This is where we're a really good fit. So from quote to order, order to a place of fulfillment. Here, fulfillment would be done either in Business Central or other third party. We can recognize when that's done, and then we can move that document to the next logical step of the workflow. For me, that's ready to invoice. So we'll go ahead and jump into that queue. After that fulfillment's done, we can create the shipment document, capture a credit card payment, and then we can actually transfer that order to an invoice here, and we can email that out as well. So Pretty simple workflow I have set up here, but really within that simple workflow, a ton of automation, and I've got some business rule logic that I'll discuss here in a moment. Matt touched on this in his intro, but really this is meant to be for end users. So highly intuitive, very user-friendly interface here. Someone that has, a good feel or a good knowledge of all the operations might set up this workflow. And we really want to empower end users to be able to do this with a very low consulting effort. So where we use automation throughout our workflow really to gain efficiency, limit those manual repetitive tasks, we use business rules here on the right to act as guardrails around workflow so that orders move through the business exactly the way that we want them to every single time. And we can ensure profitability of those orders. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that business rules tab here. I've got 3 business rules set up. Worth noting, you can add more than 3 here. You can add as many business rules as you'd like and stack conditions one on top of the other, again, to ensure that your orders are moving through your business exactly the way that you want them to. Here I've got a business rule set up for gross margin check. Approval needed on this business rule for orders that are less than 10% gross margin. Really easy to click through and add these conditions, and then you can add multiple conditions to one check if you want. If I violate this rule, those orders would go to a penalty box for review, and I'll show you what that looks like here in just a moment. I'm using this rule and I'm applying it to all my queues. Here, I'm the approver for this rule. I can add multiple approvers if I want. And I do have my email notifications set up here. I've got them toggled on. So I want an email to be sent to the reviewer when a document breaks a rule and to the submitter after a document's been reviewed. A couple other business rules that I have set up. So I've got another one for discounts. I don't want any heavy discounts. I want to keep my discounts less than 15%. So anytime a discount's more than 15%, again, this would go to me for approval here. Worth noting that, on the gross margin check, for example, we have a customer that moved forward with our solution because they knew they were losing out on gross margin. They weren't exactly sure how many orders, but they knew they had a lot. They implemented our workflow with this business rule alone just to see and gain instant visibility of all those orders breaking that rule upon installing our solution. So this workflow, basic workflow with just a couple business rules here, can be set up in less than a day. This workflow, for me, I set this up in about 4.5 minutes. So really easy, really intuitive interface to streamline your operations, limit those manual repetitive tasks, and to gain 100% control of your orders using the business rule logic that we have here. I'm going to go ahead and move from my workflow now to our order management dashboard to show you the view that you get by applying that workflow. So here I've got all my workflows selected at the top. I can go ahead and select my order workflow. You can see it's got 23 total documents in it. You can see the total cost and the total of all those orders. So I can go ahead and select that. Here you can see on the left, I've got my approval queues. Just to give you a lay of the land here, I've got my gross margin check selected. There's 2 orders in there. And then down below, I've got my queues for my order workflow that I had set up. So you can see my new order to my invoice queue. And here I could pare down if I want and just select specific queues. Let's say I was managing back orders. I just want to see every order that's in my back order queue. I could easily get to that view. If that's what I'm wanting to view every day, if I come out of here, go back in, this is the view I've got selected, that's what it would show. Here I'm going to go ahead and just populate a few more queues so that you can get a document level view of what's going on here on my dashboard. Here in my approval queue, you can see I've got 2 orders. You can see the products that are on these orders just by our hover tooltip here. and you can see that those are breaking my gross margin check. Those orders are in the red, they're negative gross margin. And then you can see the health of my workflow here, all in the green, really nice. So we do give great visibility throughout our solution into gross margin. And here on these two orders, you can see that those need approval. Moving down here into the workflow then, showing what we give at the order level. We give the document number, the customer name, document date, true status of the order. So within Business Central, you get great visibility of what's been opened or released, but kind of limited on what's exactly happened with this order at a surface level. So here I can see by hovering over that these orders that are in my ready to pick queue, they've been allocated. Some have open picks, open ships. You get great visibility here on my back order document. You can see this was back ordered, still needs payment. If a customer calls in, you want to get to that information quickly. This is definitely one advantage that we have here with the dashboard. Moving through here, you can see all the products associated with this order, multiple products here. Again, you can see the gross margin, the cost, and the total. If at any point I want to bring in additional columns, so let's say I want to see the sales rep, I can easily check, apply, and now I can see that the sales rep has been brought in here at that line item level. I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these orders just so you can see kind of the approval that I mentioned, that business rule. This will populate our order entry screen here. You can see this order here is breaking my rule. So of my gross margin check, I can go ahead and approve or reject this order. Here, I can add details. Again, I've got this selected to send an email notification to the submitter if it is rejected. So, if I said not okay this time and reject, this would go back to the submitter to fix this gross margin check, the rule that's been broken here, get the price right so that our order is then profitable. I could also approve this order. If I go ahead and approve this order, it would move forward and follow my automation that I have set up in my workflow. It'll forward this order to the next logical step in my workflow. Being that there's no other conditions or rules that are being broken, it would move to my ready to pick queue and follow all the automation that I have set up. Moving back here to my dashboard, just to highlight a couple other things here. You can quickly search by customer. So let's say I wanted to see just all of my orders here in my dashboard for my customer, Cushman and Wakefield. I can go ahead and type in Cush and it starts to kind of break that down. I can also easily add filters here. So let's say I wanted to filter by, again, customer name, contains Cush. I can apply that. And let's say I want to see, everything here, my document number. Maybe I just know that it contains 114. Let me apply, and I can easily get to that specific order that I'm looking for. So great filtering capabilities here on the dashboard. If you were looking for specific customer orders or specific documents, you can easily add those filters and get to that information and then X those out. Again, I get my full view of what's going on with my dashboard here. So great visibility into all the orders where we have them. In fact, the visibility with gross margin alone, we were on site with one of our customers. We were with the founder and president of that company. And just by installing our solution, having that gross margin check set up, seeing that approval needed, seeing that we had an order in the red, he said, okay, I need to know what's happening right now. And we said, that's real time. Because of our integration with Business Central, we get that visibility right away. That's an order that you're losing, margin on. He said, that's the sales rep. I know that guy. I'm going to go talk to him right now and we're going to fix that. So just to show you can add this logic throughout your entire workflow, or you can add that business rule logic to the beginning stages of your workflow and really limit the ability to move documents through your workflow that aren't meeting your gross margin check requirements. So a lot of flexibility and a lot of visibility with gross margin check capabilities there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and transition now to our customer management solution. So where Order Management Dashboard gives 100% visibility of the orders and where they stand throughout your process. Customer management gives 100% visibility into customer information and brings together a lot of pertinent information into one screen. So here I've got a Datum Corporation selected. Here on the left, I can see some AR information. I can see all of my open documents. Just clicking through here, some of the capabilities I can see, drop down information, the number of products, what those products are, the price, the total, and again, margin percent here throughout. I can see product information, so what we've sold to a datum, the quantity that was sold and when. In my system, I'm archiving documents. So anytime I move a quote to an order to an invoice, I'm archiving those here, and you can see them easily within the customer. I can see notes for this customer, and these flow over to my orders. So if someone's taking some time off, I want to leave a note for, let's say I'm taking time off, I want to leave notes for Matt. I can easily add those here so he can see what's going on with that customer as he's working with them. I can easily add address information, contact information. I can easily update defaults here. It's really simple, easy to use. And then here with our integration to Notice Pay Fabric for credit card processing, I can manage a customer's wallet. Add card information here. It's entirely PCI compliant, so nothing would be stored on a client's cloud environment. Here, that's with Notice Pay Fabric, but I can manage their wallet from this screen too, and then can update this about information, which again updates in Business Central in real time. I think one really nice feature here within customer management is I can actually start a quote, order, invoice, or return from here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a quote, moving that quote to an order, showing some of what we have with order entry from the end user perspective. So just how fast this process can be, entering products to this, multiple products, and then moving that forward through the workflow that we have set up. So I'm going to go ahead and create a quote. This will populate our order entry screen again here. I'm going to go ahead and add products. So I'm going to do an open search. I'm going to add a desk, and I'll do another open search here and add a chair. And I'll go ahead and update my quantities. Just to show you as I go ahead and update these quantities, the summary, the subtotal, the tax that's included, that's all updated in real time. I see that I can go ahead and submit to create an order. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. After I go ahead and move this order through my workflow, I'll go ahead and walk through the order entry screen and what we have available. But just to show you how fast this is, I have my order here that's now created from that quote. All the conditions are met. Everything's good. As I move through, my margin's in the green. I can go ahead and now submit this to the next logical step in my workflow. So ready to pick. This is that one click to pick process that I mentioned. So just by pressing submit here, we'll get an update on the activity of this document. So you can see it was moved to ready to pick. And with one click now, I've allocated all the inventory for those items. I've created my pick document, sent the email report, authorized the credit card payment, and reopened this document for continuing to move that through my workflow here. So here's my authorization amount. So as I continue to then move this document, so there's some fulfillment taking place here that would take a little bit of time. Let's say that that pick instruction was sent to the warehouse. Those items have been picked. They've been shipped. I can go ahead and now submit that ready to invoice and continue this order through my process. So here I just got notification it was moved to ready to invoice. So I created that ship document, captured the credit card payment for the total again after I authorized it, and now it's ready to invoice. If I go ahead and submit to invoice, it'll actually create the invoice from this order that would live in my related documents here, and really rounds out my order management process. So you can see here in a minute, I did all the automations that I had set up, really one click to move from a new order to that fulfillment piece. A lot of speed, a lot of efficiency gained by adding automations through our workflow. Before I submit this to invoice,
hey, Jeff, can I interrupt briefly? Sorry, I just noticed there was a question, my apologies, that mentioned the screen may be frozen in the authorization process. So just curious if the screen is still frozen. So apologies, but again, given that the Q&A that came through mentioning that the screen maybe froze up, if the person who submitted that via Q&A could let us know if we're now, caught back up, we'd appreciate that. So again, sorry for the interruption there, Jeff.
No, it's okay.
Maybe proceed forward, and there, we'll wait for the response here.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you. So moving through the order entry screen, what we have available here, I'm going to go and reopen this order just so you can see some of the functionality that we have in our interface here. So I have pre-populated the document details, billing, shipping, and summary information. But moving through here, these are highly configurable. So if I did want to bring in additional detail in here, really easy to add, apply, and I can see, phone number or other details for this customer that I wanted to see. The same thing with the billing, shipping information, so I can easily configure what I'm showing here. Again, get great visibility with the summary, great visibility into gross margin. And here at the top, we have some features and functionality that are really helpful. Some of these tools purpose-built for those entering orders specifically to in the distribution space. So here I get the great visibility on status. You can see this was shipped, fully paid. It's now ready to invoice. As you can see, I'm towards the end of my process here. I can see by clicking through here, I've got some manual functions available. I set up a lot of automation, as you can see, with this process, but at any point in time, if I wanted to manually intervene, if it made sense, I could do that here. So I could ship an invoice from here. Here's where I could generate my pick document, and I can select what I want to pick what's allocated, what's available, or I could manually select what I want to pick there. Here I could take payment. It's 0 because I've already done that. But here I could authorize, capture, do a sale, cash, or check payment as well. And then here's where I would select the card that I want to use if I am doing a card sale. If my business rules are broken, you saw that visibility when I brought open the order that needed approval. So that was yellow for that order where the rule is broken. And then here I also have some manual functions where I could take a payment, send an email, generate a pick, generate a PO, and link those to sales orders. I could print a report, allocate inventory, cancel my allocations, and here's where I can reopen or release my orders based on that. So a lot of manual capabilities here. Again, if you're looking to eliminate those manual repetitive tasks, you can definitely set these up as workflow automations as we've demonstrated here.
Hey, Jeff, sorry to interrupt again. It mentioned that maybe it would make sense to try and stop sharing and resharing your screen and see if that helps.
Yeah. Okay, we are seeing the screen again.
Great.
Okay.
Perfect. Go ahead. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Yep. So here, moving through the tabs down below, if I know that all this information is preset, I could close that, gain some real estate here as I'm entering orders. So as I entered this order, I did add 2 products doing an open search. Very easy to do here, and then want to highlight our ability to show inventory availability. So here we give great visibility into where I have inventory at each one of my warehouses. You can see a vast majority of my desks are available at my east and main warehouse. And then we give greater detail into inventory availability as far as what's on hand, what's been allocated to orders, so then what's truly available, as well as what's on back order or what's on a PO. So we do give that visibility here just in the open search. It's also easy for me if I wanted to search by a product number or description, I could do that here as well. So if I wanted to see all my stainless steel options, I type in stainless, I start getting that those products to add to my order here. We also have an inventory drawer. If I wanted to add product via the inventory drawer, if I wanted to multi-select and add multiple products to an order, I could do that here. Again, giving great visibility of inventory availability, what's on hand, what's been allocated to orders, and so what's truly available to sell. Here at the line level, we do have some features that I want to highlight as well. Amount paid, this is actually a custom field that I've added to Cavallo, which pushes into Business Central as well. I'll go ahead and populate this order in Business Central so that I can move there here in just a moment. But I want to show you what we have available with custom fields. Here I've got unit of measure. I can see my quantity. I can see the allocated percent, so you can see the status of this order is shipped. Again, the price, and if we had any discounts here. So if I want to go ahead and edit columns, if I wanted to bring in additional columns, very easy to do that. Let's say I wanted to bring in product color. I could easily see that. This is a list, again, a field that we've added here via custom fields, but very easy to configure the order entry interface to streamline your operations here as well. So moving on, I do want to touch on our custom fields, one of our newest features, adding this capability. So here you can see I've got some custom fields. Again, just showed you what we have with product color. And then here I have one for amount paid. So here's my amount paid. I've added that as a data type currency to my line item. And then you got that visibility there on the order entry screen. I'll go ahead and select a new custom field just to show you everything that we can do here. So here I could add a label to that. The one that I did was amount paid. And then I could select my data type. It's giving me the little alert that one already exists, so I'm not going to re-enter it. But here you can see the text. It can be a text, a list, a number, percent, currency, checkbox, true or false, or a date. So we had a customer that specifically wanted to see the amount paid per line item. So that's why we set up this custom field that applied to line items. You could apply to multiple entities if it made sense. So let's say you wanted to see it for a product on the line item at those levels, then you could easily add and apply that. So very easy to set those up here. And again, those push to Business Central. So if I go ahead and open this order that I had selected in Business Central, you can see that custom field for amount paid by the line item is visible here. I think that it would make sense to kind of illustrate what we do have available and added into Business Central by installing Cavallo here. So By installing our application, you can now see the Cavallo quantity available, any Cavallo allocations, anything that's on back order. You get that visibility. You can also see the workflow queue that it's in. So this is in my ready to invoice queue. So you get that greater visibility in the true status of this order. So it's not just open or released. You can actually see where it stands. And then here on the right, we have our Cavallo document status. So you can see that this order has been shipped. It's fully paid. That normally wouldn't be here unless you've installed Cavallo. So great visibility, even added into Business Central. If I click on the actions, I now have some Cavallo actions. So if I go ahead and submit this order, it would move through my workflow, still follow all of the same automation and business rule logic that I have set up in Cavallo and go to the next logical step. Here I could open this order back in Cavallo just to show how tightly we're integrated. And then I could allocate any of the inventory also in this order from the Cavallo Actions tab. To move out, to just show some of the greater visibility that we've added in Business Central here, I could view all of my sales orders. And now because I've added Cavallo, I get this workflow queue next to my status. I can filter by this list. So if I wanted to filter by a workflow queue, and let's say I wanted to see everything in my ready to pick, I can go ahead and easily apply and now just filter down and see all of my orders. So great capabilities added to Business Central here. This makes a lot of sense for customers that might be doing a lot of e-com, Amazon, Shopify, Magento. Maybe they're doing some dynamic web orders that are, and they're not doing so much manual order entry. Maybe they just want to utilize Business Central. They've got orders flowing in. We can recognize when those orders have come into Business Central, pick them up automatically in Cavallo and leverage our workflow against them. And with this great visibility, then you can filter in Business Central and see the true status of these orders and where they stand at any point in time throughout your business. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hop back out of Business Central into Cavallo here. We've touched on custom fields. Just to highlight a couple other capabilities that we do have here, we can also show all the documents that I have currently in my system. So I can see the document number, the order number, the customer name, the document date, again, which workflow queue it's in, the true status of these orders, what that looks like, the related documents associated with it, all the products that are on this order, the cost, the total, the subtotal, and the sales rep. And then here we do have product information. So I can see all my products here. If I go ahead and select one, this will populate the product card. So here I get all the open documents associated with this product. If I click the drop down, then I can see the quantity, the unit price, the extended price, what the margin was on that order for this product, and the margin amount and the cost. Again, we can edit and add columns here, whatever makes the most sense for the end user. I can see all my inventory again, great visibility into what is on hand, what's been allocated to orders, what's truly available. Here I can see what's actually on a sales order currently, and then what's on back order. Any archive documents related to this product. So you can see here all my quotes for this desk. If I did want to filter down, I could get to all of my invoices as well. And here is all of my posted invoices for this product. So here I can see for this invoice, we had 5 of the Athens desks, 2 swivel chairs, and 4 of the whiteboards, and the unit price, the total, the margin percent of each line item on the specific invoice, the margin amount, and the cost. Worth noting, the plus button here is another way that you can add quotes, orders, invoices, or returns. You can also add new customers or contacts here. In Cavallo, I did that through the customer management screen just to show that while you're speaking with a customer, you can easily start the process of entering a quote or order from there. So that really rounds out our entire suite of products that integrate with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Really appreciate your time and attention today. Matt, I think we wanted to open up time for some Q&A at this point.
Great. And if you don't mind, I'll share my screen real quick and we'll transition to Q&A. Great. Okay. It looks like there's a question about exporting to Excel, these tables like you can in SalesPad. The answer is not yet, but working with plans to enable exports in the not too distant future. So certainly feel free to reach out to Jeff or I. We can connect you with our product team and talk more specifically about timing on the roadmap for things like that. But good question. We often get questions about what types of customers we serve in terms of whether it's companies that are already on Business Central or companies that are thinking about adopting Business Central. And the answer is both. We actually have a number of implementations going on right now with companies that really sort of fit various profiles. Some companies that have been using Business Central and recognizing that they could be more efficient, they could be more profitable. So we absolutely can integrate quickly with Business Central to make it more efficient, make those companies more profitable. Or if companies are on the path to Business Central, we can actually help them get live faster because things like our workflow engine that has so much automation built in already, we can help companies develop very robust and sort of efficient workflow really fast. So really avoiding a lot of custom development, a lot of sort of bespoke design work, just get there faster and cheaper. And thank you very much for the kind words, whoever mentioned that. And so therefore, again, we serve companies whether they're already on Business Central or they're adopting. Another question that we get frequently, and we touched on this a little bit, is whether you need to buy the whole suite or whether we sell our products modularly. And we're absolutely modular in terms of our approach. We recognize that particularly this day and age with AppSource and the flexibility of the Business Central platform, we really needed to be modular. What that allows for is exactly as Jeff described. There are a number of companies that we're helping that frankly don't need something like order entry because they've already been doing it in Business Central and they want their users to just stay in Business Central, or maybe they're heavily e-commerce oriented and therefore we're bringing forth that modular approach that allows companies to move forward perhaps just with workflow to really sort of accelerate and provide that efficiency and automation, even if they want their users to stay in Business Central on a day-to-day basis. While they may recognize that our user interface for order entry is more efficient, they may just not need it. And so therefore, we bring forth a modular approach. And so really can sort of pick and choose what customers need. And again, we'll work very seamlessly with other ISVs as well.
Thank you, Matt, for this great presentation. we would like to launch a short poll to all the attendees. If you can help us with this short answer. And the idea is improve our future sessions of Optimus and our partners as Cavallo. And well, feel free to answer. This poll is anonymous, so we want we appreciate your honest answer. And on the other hand, thank you guys for this great presentation, Matt and Jeff. If one of the attendees have any doubts or questions, you can contact direct to Cavallo team at their email address, matt.abbott@cavallo.com and jeff.houtz@cavallo.com. We will be here for a couple of additional minutes while the attendees answer the short poll. And again, guys, from all the Optimus team, we want to say thank you for this great presentation.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure and appreciate the partnership. Sorry, Jeff, I cut you off.
Okay, thank you.